Welcome to Oilers TV Playoffs presented by Sport Check. Tom Gazzola alongside Bob Stauffer from the Oilers Radio Network. Bob, the Edmonton Oilers return to Edmonton up 2-0 in this Western Conference semifinal against the Anaheim Ducks. When you look at those two games that we saw in Orange County, what are the glaring things that pop up in your mind, especially considering what happened in Game 2 where the Oilers were heavily outshot but managed to hang on for a 2-1 victory?
Well, obviously, Tom, the team has to play better than they did in game number 2. I mean, Talbot stole that game for Edmonton. But the fact of the matter is, I think the Oilers have created a bit of a culture and environment where they know they can stick with it during the course of the game. In order to do that, you have to have a goaltender that makes stops, and Cam Talbot has done that. And so this has been part of the modus operandi for Oilers general manager Peter Chiarelli, who I think has a very acute awareness of the importance of culture in the room. And then you got Todd McClellan really from day one saying, we got to have a team that doesn't spit the bit. Oilers have been able to stay in some games maybe where they haven't played great. But that said, you can't sustain victories when you're getting as outshot badly as the Oilers were against Anaheim the other night.
How much of it is luck? Because even in the San Jose series, a lot of pucks hitting the iron for Cam Talbot right now.
Well, luck certainly plays a factor. But what should be noted is, you know, the one thing that I want to point out is that Edmonton, in this series against Anaheim, they are being outshot, but in the actual kill zone, so in the A-grade scoring areas on the ice, in the slot and the inner slot, Edmonton's actually quite comparable in terms of numbers with Anaheim. So people should keep that in mind. But I fully expect the Oilers have a much better performance tonight at Rogers Place.
One thing that the Oilers have been doing very well this season, in this postseason in particular, is getting scoring outside of Connor McDavid, the only guy to hit 100 points in the regular season. Bob, how important is it that if McDavid isn't the guy setting up the goals or scoring them, other guys are picking up where he's not being able to fulfill that offensive opportunity?
Well, I think we all know that come playoff times, you're in situations where you end up in a scenario where you're looking at teams trying to take something away from the opposition. And so teams have focused on Connor McDavid. Edmonton has got 11 different goal scorers through the first 8 games of the playoffs, and nobody has more than 3 goals. So they have had a diversified scoring attack, and they got a couple guys that are due. A kid like Drake Caggiula, who I do think will probably be in tonight. You know, there's some opportunities that might be cashed in by some other support players as well. So you don't win unless you've got depth in scoring.
Connor McDavid touched on being shadowed and about the depth this team is showing thus far in the 2017 postseason.
We're a very deep team. I've said that before, and I'll definitely say it again. So we're a very deep team, and we have guys that can produce offense. And Leon and Padley, especially playing with those guys all year long, even up and down the lineup. So
Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers looking to take a 3-0 series lead. Now this series shifting back to Rogers Place. Bob, when we were in Orange County, this building was electric. There was no games going on here. What are we expecting from this crowd and the city heading into Game 3?
Well, there were, Tom, 800 to 1,000 Oilers fans at the Honda Center in Anaheim. That fan base is a little different than the one here. It is going to be a gong show. It is totally a home ice advantage. And the fans here, they understand the game, and they know how to pick a team up when they're reeling a bit. And I fully expect that's part of the reason why I think the Oilers are going to have a much better game. I'm not guaranteeing a win, but they're going to have more of a sustained flow and play today because the fans are going to be amped, jacked, and stoked, and it's going to be a thing of absolute beauty.
Honda Center was basically Rogers Place South for games 1 and 2. Here's what the players had to say coming back home to play Game 3 and 4.
Now coming back home, it's going to be a lot of fun to see the atmosphere in this building and see how much energy the fans have tonight. So we're looking forward to it, and hopefully it just re-energizes us.
Oh, they have helped us so much. The fans here have been great. You see the city kind of rallying around us, and we definitely appreciate that so much. And definitely a nice energy boost coming home to these fans.
Some things that we want to clean up, but coming back from their building up 2-0 is obviously a huge confidence boost for us, and coming back to play in front of our home fans tonight is going to be another boost for us, and we're going to need every bit of it because, like I said, they're going to be an extremely desperate team tonight, and we're going to have our best game of the series.
All right, Bob, we're expecting this building to be bumping all night long. I'm going to throw a stat at you real quick from the Elias Sports Bureau. Teams that take a 2-0 series lead on the road are 69-18 all-time. That's good for 79.3%. What's your take on that?
Well, I saw you yesterday on the plane, and I could see the hamsters moving around in the wheel there, so I knew you were up to something. But No, Anaheim showed last year they can come back from blowing a home ice advantage to start a series. So the Oilers got some work to do. That's a good stat. But that said, take care of business here at home. You'll be in a good spot if you're the Oilers.
All right, Bob will be back in part 2 of Oilers TV Playoffs presented by Sport Check to discuss the Anaheim Ducks.